unit of Keria, Guma, Faker, and Oner. I think recently it has been their strength. I think they have really leaned into the high level of predictability because funnily enough, the fact that we do have Fearless does not take away from how railroaded a lot of the tier list drafting is. Yeah. And it sometimes gets kind of fun in game 3, and obviously in the best of 5 is a completely different scenario. But T1, looking at, for example, the knowledge that Senna was going to come in, slamming the Varus, or the Aphelios Thresh rather, stuff like that, I think they have been always very willing to go and throw very wide curveballs in draft, sometimes to their own detriment. But in the form they're in right now, I think it's been working out well for T1 versus HANWHA. Outside of, again, Viper and I think Delight in recent times, the rest of the map, the top side, have been struggling a little bit to find something that really works for them. Even Zeka's Yone, which for, what, like a year and a half, even now is still getting banned. I don't think his individual performance was really what we're used to seeing from him. And I don't like this. The Aurora ban helps a little bit, but still, we've seen the Gwen be answered more and more. Doran is a really good Gwen, though, but it does kind of tie into the larger theme of being predictable. Nocturne Ori would make sense to pick it away from Oner, but nope. It's the Wukong.
The Wukong is just too strong nowadays. We've seen a lose here and there, but that wasn't because of Wukong. That was because of the way the games are playing out. This is like an S-tier jungler in LCK Pro at the moment, and it's great with Orianna as well.
I'm pretty sure that Wukong versus Xin is the only Xin that has won has been Oner, because his Xin is not okay.
Is he playing it, do you think?
He might, with this setup.
Maybe Nocturne, though. Unless they ban it, because with the Galio, there's a lot of value there. Thinking about a blind.
I think it's Nocturne.
Or not blind, this is just a hover.
Yeah, I think it's Nocturne or Xin. And Xin in this matchup isn't great, but obviously Oner is an exceptional Xin. Nocturne to me makes a ton of sense as well if you want to play together with the Galio. They've played that before as well, but instead, going to be the Jarvan. T1 continuing their prio on this pick and also kind of mitigating the type of picks that Viper can go for, because you do need to be a lot more respectful, because this crazy amount of backline dive here.
And Bessa is going to be slammed down. Rumble was available, and you could have gone for like insane wombo combo team fights. It's got a good lane into Gwen, but instead, it's going to go for more of a carry flanking kind of scaling pick, so offering a little bit more color into the draft instead of just, you know, a one direction kind of thing. And let's see what the rest of this draft looks like. So far, it's very much following the formula of we pick the top side and then we pick the bottom duos. That's just the way it works most of the time.
Really, the only surprising thing is, as you highlight, that it was Mbessa over the Rumble that is picked up. But the Mbessa, I think, has been pretty solid. Recently, there was a period where we just picked her into Rumble and she just lost every time, and it was just not really doing it. But Gwen's early laning phase has really been mitigated compared to where it was before.
And you know who the best Mbessa at that time was? Xiu.
Yep.
Good times. Good times back then.
Yeah, I remember that. That was fun. It's fine. We're not talking about that now.
Hey, DK won yesterday, okay?
They did. I mean, not in a negative sense, but you know I'll get carried away.
Yeah.
Poppy and Nico both feel like must-bans against Keria. I think that Poppy in particular, he really stands alone with what he can do with the champion. The Sivir ban is interesting, because I think Sivir has been on the rise, justifiably so, but picking Sivir... kind of... Yeah, well that, but also, like, picking Sivir into Jarvan, I think you're kind of having a great time if you're the Jarvan in that.
Yeah.
Sivir doesn't really get to leave ever. Rakan pick up, another pick that both Delight, back when he was on Brionne, had incredible performances on, one of the big reasons why they won so many team fights back then, and also a pick that Keria has looked crazy on. So I really like both teams, very aware of each other's strengths here with these picks so far.
I feel like if you go Jhin Bard, you have enough damage just because of the Gwen. So it does kind of work out. Especially with Jhin in his current state. It's a huge comfort pick for Guma. The Bard is very good into what they already have. And with the Sivir ban, I think that one was kind of on the cards. Because as you mentioned, like with the Jarvan, you're not really worried about the Sivir unless you're picking something that is really bad into Sivir, which is Bard. So Bard comes out and Jhin comes out. This has been a T1 staple now for a couple of weeks. Not a big surprise here.
The Jhin Bard, I mean, I can't remember the first time, but this has been something that they've gone towards for so long now. Keria, definitely the best bard. Really, the only one that comes close is Duro, which I think is weird to say, but he's been the only other one that I think is consistently picked and looked good on it, as it will be Lucian Rakan. Not necessarily a laning phase that you look and go, huh? But Rakan makes a ton of sense with the rest of the comp.
There, as we're hopping on the Rift right now.
환영합니다. 미니언 생성까지 30초 남았습니다.
Alrighty. Here we go. Game number 1. The Saturday Showdown. T1 up against HANWHA Esports. It is Orange Day, not just because I'm wearing an orange shirt.
That's every day.
And wearing orange shoes.
That is
that you guys
also often
can't see.
He does wear those a lot.
Yeah. They're good. They're very comfy. I've had them for a long time. I actually might get a new pair soon. Might be the retiring of the orange.
Why? Are you not just going to get another orange pair?
Well, it was a pretty... Like, I wanted this type specifically, but they only had orange. So I was like, oh, that's kind of risky, but I don't know. It'll be cool. So I just got them.
Kind of done with it.
But now it's like, okay, if I get a new pair, am I going to do orange again? Feels like kind of a gimmick at that point, you know? Might as well just go for normal.
Maybe in the future, maybe that's your thing now. You're Brendan Valdez, the orange guy.
Orange guy.
Yeah.
I don't really. That doesn't really. What does that even?
Doesn't
mean?
resonate with you. Well,
yeah.
As Atlas has shown us, anything can mean anything if you just sell it well.
Yeah.
Words are malleable, Valdez.
Especially because I'm from New York, which is, you know, New York City is the Big Apple, right?
So, so it feels
very much the opposite
unfair.
of an orange. I'm like, I think orange is like a Florida thing, you know?
Okay, well, we're getting into a whole...
What is happening here?
Cultural baggage that I'm not really familiar with. I'm not American, you know?
I don't get it.
The
orange guy thing works. I'm just saying.
Okay, well, if you don't want orange shoes, don't get orange shoes. That's fine.
Fine, Chronicler.
Yeah, well, you can.
Well, only because you said not to.
Early laning phase looking good for Zeka here. As you would expect, Galio has a lot of these matchups where he is just going to take a beating early on. I do think that this one in particular is quite rough. Really, you want to try and at least get a little bit more time in the lane before you have to back. So the early TP is a nice win for Zeka there. And then in the bot side, we do see the Jhin Bard, as I think expected, really take over this lane. Barriers used on either side. We see this a lot just for trying to trade as well as possible. Viper not having the best of time so far.
Yeah, I mean, he's low range against Jhin Bard, so you're just kind of sitting there dying.
He also has Rakan.
Yeah, Rakan's like, I'm going to hit a Q. Wait, no, I'm not. And then Bard heals more. It's like, huh. I guess I'm just useless. So, I mean, they knew what they were getting into in this lane. As Viper gonna...
That is a nice bit of symmetry. Both Viper and Faker just being forced back early. Level 2 bases. Oh, nice cancel there. It's gonna make their upcoming setup in the lane a little bit easier.
Nice trade here from Faker. You could see that Tekka was not really expecting him to get that aggressive, especially underneath the turret. But he still has this flash.
Ooh. Nicely done there by Faker, because Zeka did TP back, which means that he is not going to be able to heal up. As there's Keria.
Yep.
Finding though.
There's Peanut as
fighting.
Well. Also, Oner is there. Sorry, Alex.
No, a lot of people.
Delight was there for like a split second, you saw?
He did show up.
Yeah.
He was late to the party.
It's Bard, so just kind of decides when he wants to fight and when he does not want to. And that time he did not want to.
And it's not like, you know, fashionably late. It's like, no, they're tidying up. The party's over.
Yeah.
You can't join.
You can help tidy up, though. That's a nice thing to do.
Well, yeah, that is polite, but if you show up to the party, it's already gone, don't you just leave? Or are you just like, hey, host, I'm just going to help you clean up and then leave?
Yeah, I think that's almost weirder.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't do that.
Okay. I think it depends on how close you are.
Yeah, it depends on whose party you're going to.
Yeah. As we do have the lane swap to come through from T1 here, so Guma and Keria, I think trying to get the most out of their pressure that they do have. As Oner, again, these ganks very strong.
There it is. Nice flash from Zeka. Is it going to matter, though? As in goes Oner. And that is first blood. It is perfect from Faker and Oner. And even Zeka flashing the first bit of it, like there wasn't much he could do except play more safe.
What a beautiful 1-2 there from Faker and Oner. Faker sets it up. Still gets the taunt, as you highlight, despite the flash. And then Oner, as always, shows up, hits a flag and drag on a stationary target. Not the hardest play for him there, but take another look here. So Faker, even though Zeka flashes the knock-up from the Justice Punch, not able to get out of the taunt. And enough damage there for Oner. Like that he also invests the flash, like both of them flashing Darwin Jarvan, that flash, it's fine, but it's not that crazy important. Not really relying on it the way that Orianna now is flashless in the mid lane against Galio, Bard, and Jarvan. Particularly the Bard, I think, as soon as Keria gets it on, which is still a little bit away, but the impact he can have by even just throwing an ult. And then Zeka just kind of sits there, golden, watching the Galio walk up to him and channel a max range taunt.
Yeah.
Have fun.
That's the Orianna experience, right? You're feeling very good, you're putting on a ton of pressure, and then you get ganked, you lose your flash, and all that pressure is just like down the drain. And you're like, huh, well, why did I pick this champ again in solo queue? Definitely speaking from experience.
Yeah, I was about to say, you want to talk about this? Well, it's like
it's a thing, it's a thing. I mean, even Jhin as well, you were talking about Bard, but like, also the Jhin can get into the action if they end up doing like a lane swap or any kind of like objective rotation.
Oh, this is what we talked about!
Oh, the flash binding is perfect from the side of Keria. As even the ult comes through, Oner tanks the turret way too long, and now Faker getting pretty low. That's kind of a bit of a blemish there on a perfect gank.
Delight, you were invited again, and you're late again! Man, he's gotta work on his timing on these party invitations. That's not. Unfortunately, the slow teleport, not going to be able to help him as Doran is definitely stronger than Peanut.
But is he stronger than Peanut and Delight and Zeus eventually? They are very deep in the jungle, though, as Doran is following here. Lots of needles in. He gets knocked back by the dragon. Now he's just going for Delight, who does have his flash. And so he can just flash on over and get away. But kind of a strange skirmish there in the T1 jungle.
It's a big deal that Oner ends up going down there. I think slightly overestimating his own tankiness there, because if he doesn't go down and they just get Zeka again, he doesn't get a counter kill. That mid lane matchup is not getting better, right? It's going to be only easier for T1 to just apply that pressure, keep him under the turret, and dive him on repeat. So it's a pretty big win for Zeka that he's able to pick up a good amount of gold. Still, HANWHA Life is moderately fallen behind, but I do think that even though the T1 teamfight is still good, I think that's where HANWHA excels, right? The wombo combo that they have. As we take another look here, I think Keria, in hindsight, probably could have tanked one additional turret shot.
There's a lot of damage going into Viper right now, and the Jhin ult is still available. 1 and 2. Viper has to flash away. In goes Zeus as he's trying to get out of his own dive, and he gets away. Viper, what is happening here? He's still getting chased by the Krugs.
Well, Kruglord's in the game.
I know.
They're gonna be careful.
Oh boy. Zoom in on Doran.
That's amazing.
Our observers are too good.
They knew. They knew. That's still, even though you don't get the kill, it doesn't matter, right? You bully him off the turret. He doesn't get his waves. Flash now forced. And the play towards bot side didn't end up working out. Doran gets covered by Oner, is completely fine. The T1, I think pretty happy with that one. But I do want to highlight again, as I tried to get into earlier before we had some plays on the map, HANWHA Life's comp is going to excel in specifically the 5v5, where they have exceptional engage, a couple of really good teamfight ultimates, and a lot of mobility. I think T1 are a little bit more reliant on like the initial engage working out, right? Going in, finding the CC, blowing up a target. Because in longer skirmishes, where Zeus, Peanut get to use both their sustain, their mobility, and Viper just gets to do a lot of separate rotations, it could be rough.
A little bait here as, okay, gonna dash away from that one. Definitely hard for Bard to lock down this duo, so that's probably part of the reason why Viper did pick this one up. Able to get away from Jarvan, able to get away from Bard. And that he did right there. Doesn't mean that T1 are going to start up here on the Grubs. And let's see if Peanut can steal. He's got a blast cone nearby. And 2 do go over to T1, and they leave the final one here for Peanut.
We see this very often, right? What happens is a team will push out the lanes, will then get the grub, get the second grub, and at that point your lanes are pushed in. You kind of have to...
Oh,
Come on!
oh, how does he do it? How does he do it? Like every time, it's insane.
And you know,
just that guy.
Keria steals objectives with Spellbook, that's cool. Oner steals objectives with Smite, that's cool. But Guma doesn't have Smite. How does he keep doing it?
Just play Jin or Jinx or anything else that he steals stuff with. He's just so crisp. And we got a little bit of something going on over here, but nothing really amounting from it. Although, that was pretty cool.
Give Peanut something, man.
No.
As we can see, Zeka in pure 1v1. Please, he's still fine applying pressure in this side lane. And this is a big deal because I think HANWHA can play as aggressive as they do there towards that top side, even though they didn't end up getting anything for it. Because Vape is being kept in his lane is...
I mean, he doesn't have vision. That's crazy. Like the gamer sense there.
Yep.
He's 10 out of 10. It doesn't get better than that. And that was a sign they're hoping for Guma to get a penta. We'll see if he does. Maybe not on the Jin.
Yeah, Jin isn't really a penta champion. Let's be real.
Yeah. Smolder, Zeri, even Sivir.
Jinx is good.
Jinx.
Jinx is great for penas. Aphelios can, but I don't think it's quite the same level.
Yeah. Ezreal's good because you can chase people down.
Kai'Sa can be okay in specific games.
Definitely seen Kai'Sa pentas here at the LCK.
I do like, though, for HANWHA that they're able to stay within parity, right? But it's going to be the team fight that I think is going to be a big test for them so far. T1 has looked better in these skirmishes. That looked like they maybe wanted to contest, but Dragon's already gone. Zeus, though, applying pressure to Doran here.
Yeah, you can easily get into the circle and punish this Gwen quite a lot. Up a level, too. Not a full level, but like a half level. As Doran does hit 10.
Well.
Yeah, he's doing very well. Keria's going to get out of dodge.
This is kind of a funny game because even though there is a lot of CC, a lot of it is tied to ultimate specifically because everyone is so mobile. So like, Delight actually hitting a W on a Bard realistically shouldn't be happening. You really need to invest your ult. Same for Bard, right? Against the amount of mobility that's there on the enemy team. So, kind of wondering if these fights are going to remain looking this goofy, where it's just everyone kind of dodging, weaving in and out. Is not going to get the double tap there onto Guma.
Yeah, I would assume so. I mean, especially from T1's point of view. Kind of an interesting binding there, expecting the dash.
Oh, Zeka. That is Sork Pen boots.
He do the damage.
I do. Well, I think he kind of went for the middle ground, right? But I would expect him to build damage from here on out. I think Seraph's into the enemy comp is very warranted. The shield actually does make a big deal. But not going for the Mercs that I think have been a lot more popular. Maybe a signal that he does intend to build a lot of damage from here on out. I think we had Chovy with some... when he hit the 5-man shockwave and it did like maybe 10% of the enemy's health because he went Rod of Age.
Still hit it. Oh, nice dodge there from the side of Keria. This binding comes in, but here is Peanut right on time just to say hello and then turn right around and get back to the Krugs. So just keeping his top laner safe, as you do.
Gold's basically even. This is what I want in a game one.
You know, I don't even feel like the tempo vibes are heading in one direction or the other.
They're not. No,
right? It kind of just feels like we're in a very even playing field right now.
Because what I really like with both these compositions is I think that when HANWHA was playing at top form, team fights was one of their biggest strengths. It was something that they were able to rely on very, very well because Peanut, Delight, their team fighting as a jungle support duo was kind of crazy. But then you look at the T1 comp, who obviously have been teamfighting really well recently, but it's specifically their ability to make these very snap decision plays, right? And I think that their comp has, with the Bard, with the Galio, with the Jarvan, a lot of those tools as well. So I think both teams are also happy where they're in. Because T1 doesn't need to win the early game, right? It's nice as a Delight.
Yeah, the calling goes into Guma too, so he can't really join the fight. Delight took a ton of damage, but the Jin was none of it. It was mostly just Oner. And now HANWHA are like, yeah, we don't really have a Rakan at the moment, so we're going to back away.
Ooh, we do have the, as you highlight, the calling being used. Faker has TP, so does Zeka. We might have an actual 5v5 on our hands for this Herald. There's Delight running back as fast as he can.
Yeah. No startup here, though, from the side of T1. Oh, I say that, they actually have.
Yeah, the position was a little...
Yeah, this looks a little weird on the mini-map, but either way, just getting to work here.
Zeka's running, Faker's TPing.
Yeah, we got TPs all over the place. The engage here on a Keria is not that great as the Rift Herald will go over to Oner, and now he's just going to ult in and get out as Delight in the front line has to flash away. And now Zeus trying to frontline here as well. Faker doing a ton of damage here to Zeka, who was just left alone. Rest of the team just ran away. Oner's running into the mid-turret as all of this is happening. And the last couple of shots here from the side of Guma won't quite land, but it's still a gigantic teamfight win to T1.
Guma will not find his old teammate. Zeus gets out, but HANWHA Alive taking a big beating there, losing the Herald, investing a lot, and not really finding anything. And it's that layered engage from T1. First, a lot of pressure applied to Peanut. They tried to just kill Keria. I think that was the call here. Try to kill the Bard. So much utility will be gone the moment that happens. But he just gets out. And then it puts the rest of the team in an awkward position. This flank from Faker.
The ult on Azeka is what kills him.
Yep. He's able to not position or reposition at all. And trying to go in on the Bard, out of all the members on T1, it feels rough because he has both his flash available, obviously, but he also has the portal. But if you go on someone else and Bard ult defensively, you're also kind of cooked. And it's yet another highlight of why Keria has a skin on the champion. Now, for HANWHA, that's just one fight. I don't think if they lost like 2 more people, the game state will be really dire. Probably going to lose their... or actually, I think the Herald already did come down. I assume Nit based on the health?
Yeah, no, in the middle of the fight, Oner took the Herald and ran it into the mid turret.
There you go.
He was like, I'm too far away. I'm going to try to, I guess, Herald back into the fight. And instead, he just hit the turret. Meanwhile,
going deep on
Oner,
the light.
He's so strong into this Rakan, especially. And he's down to Boogie if you want to. But Oner, yeah, he's just going to get away.
Drake pace is a little low this game, which I think benefits HANWHA if T1 were... Oh, Faker? I don't think he meant to hit that wall. Could have otherwise been... I don't think Peanut dies, but a good amount of damage onto the Wukong. Not going to be the case.
Still the Drake probably just going over to T1, which is 2 first Drakes. And even something like a Chemtech, I feel like, is extremely good for Gwen. Oh, it's just Hextech. Okay. You know, maybe that's what you got to do. You got to be like, hey, Chemtech would be great here, and then it just doesn't happen.
I love me smack stack. Oh my! Also, like, think of the plays that Ambessa, Wukong, Galio, Gwen can pull off with Hex Gates.
Yeah, I mean, some insane stuff, and also if you get the soul.
Doran, does he know?
And it seems like I know, but it doesn't matter because the light kind of messed up engage. What world are we?
Crazy.
What world are we living in?
So I think Doran, my guess based on that dash, I think he knew. Yeah, based on the positioning of Zeus, and he was ready with the dash. So Delight thought that he would be able to
just run at him,
and then Doran dashed back preemptively, which is what I think prompted Delight to go for the W.
Because it made Delight look very silly.
It did.
But I think what you highlight is really important because Doran did play that very well.
So it's one of those things where, as a person, you're way better at responding if you're anticipating, right? Like reflexes are reliant on...
As opposed to...
Well, I guess that goes for any
animal. A cat playing League of Legends.
You don't know. Cats can play League of Legends in the future.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that.
Not Bobby, but you know.
Not Bob. No, he cannot. Charlie though probably can.
Yeah, if we give her the tools, I'm sure she'll find a way.
She'll be too anxious on stage though, I think. Charlie.
Oh, yeah, okay. But you can just play solo queue, right? That's fine.
Yeah, that's true. We don't have the technology, actually. Maybe in the future. As Otacon is spawning. And the tempo vibes are certainly in T1's favor. The actual situation in the game, I do feel like, you know, if Zeka actually flashes away from Keria's ult, if they are the ones engaging, because you have Wukong Rakan. Like, it's one of the most broken engaged duos, and then add an Orianna on top of that. So, like, HANWHA Life do have some insane tools. They just got to use it, and they're not that far behind. So, looking forward to when we get a real 5v5 here.
Both teams are just poking and prodding, telling as well that I'm pretty sure that's the first turret that falls this deep in. 21 minutes almost before the topside turret has fallen. Zeka will be answering that. I think Faker should be, there we go, with the Shadow Flame. Want to highlight, Faker is one of the few players that we see actually go for this like full damage Galio build. So don't be fooled. This is not your tanky Hollow Radiance. He does crazy amounts of damage.
Yeah.
Have to be very respectful. And then we look at the other side. Zeus now finishing his Shojin. Viper sitting on second item, whereas Guma hasn't hit that yet. I don't think that timing window is really going to matter, though. I imagine that Guma will be able to get a base in before anything happens. As the Light will get tagged. Jhin sets him up, but they didn't really want to, because they don't have a lot of vision in the jungle there.
Yeah, just a little bit of poking from Jhin and Bard. It is what they do. We're taking a look at the items here. Still just the Seraph's Embrace for Zeka. He has died 3 times, so he's fallen quite far behind. He's 1,000 gold behind Faker, who is a really strong Galio. Level 14, matching Zeus, who is basically... Zeus has just kind of sat in the side lane the entire game, so the fact that Faker is kind of on par with him in levels is kind of insane. Does have 3 kill participation out of 3, so that's part of it. But... yeah, definitely going to be one of the big tools, and as you mentioned, he's actually going to be doing damage, so... doesn't feel like he absolutely had to go damage in this game with the Gwen, but... Galio with damage
Doesn't need
nice.
to, but it's T1, right? Like, they like playing as aggressive as possible. I think in that light it does make sense. As Guma taking a big beating here. Might have to flash.
Nice little run to the side. Also, Peanut, he decoyed, and then he stopped moving. I'm not sure exactly what that was about. Because it did look like they wanted to go in on that, but perhaps Peanut was having second thoughts.
Not a bad trade there for T1. Like, getting the calling. Don't think that they're gonna use it as a timing, though, as we have Oner clearing the topside jungle. Able to build up a decent gold lead. He's also sitting at 2 items, whereas his opponent is not. Well, as I say, that Peanut
You
finishes
said
his...
not, and the item got bought
literally
at that exact second.
Yeah, that's that's my bad on the read, you know?
No, it's your
it's a curse.
Insanely good ability to curse stuff. I mean, you're the best in the game. I've never seen anyone close. It's crazy.
I don't.
I don't know how it's possible.
Is this we're doing like the I'm saying I'm not the chosen one, and they're like, yes, yes, you are.
No, it's true.
I'm not. Zeka should be. Oh, Guma.
Uh-oh. Yeah, don't walk straight at the Lucian. Didn't see him on the side there. The root does come down, though, and an option. And the flash away here from Viper. As Willie even go down. One more shot could do it, and there it is. Guma finishes him off. Didn't even need Oner. And that is just Viper out of the play. The guy who's been carrying this team on his backpack, you know, and now he's the first one to go down.
And that's just before the third Drake spawns. Possible soul point here for T1. I think HANWHA Life, they have to contest. A lot was used. 3 ultimates there, but there's still a member down.
Yeah, I mean, how do you contest this? It looks like maybe they just won't. I mean,
oh, that's rough.
Hanging out, but yeah, they're just going to have to give away Hextech soul point here.
That was a symphony of a play. Every layer of that was beautiful. The fact that Guma doesn't even flash, by the way, I think knowing that the calling wasn't up as HANWHA Life maybe looking for something off the back of this. I understand why they feel like they need to go for something. T1 just keeps getting away with it.
Yeah, and with the X-Gates, you know, Viper's able to come back a little bit sooner. But that the difference in 80 carry summoners now is pretty gigantic. Like, yes, Viper is Lucian, but if they commit to him, they can still get him.
It really... we're going to get the replay, so I'm not going to talk about it. But, like, here we go. Specifically, the layering of what happens here, right? So, starts off with Viper obviously unloading with red buff onto Guma. Guma has a rough time at first, but is able to get away. Then watch this, the ult from Keria means that Delight can't block the shots. And then even though Oner, in hindsight, didn't need to go for that ult, he's there. Doran is behind him as well, by the way, just to ensure that there is no way that Viper lives. And I think this is one of those scenarios where if you're Viper, you're afterwards probably like, oh god, but it's his burden to carry this team. He's been the most consistent performer. 2 back-to-back POGs, or POMs, for a reason. But that play right there, T1, read him like a book. And now they got Sword with Hextech Sword. We don't even need to, they've got the comp. We know it's broken.
It's just broken. Like, that's all you need to know. And it's very true. Oh, the root comes down, and Delight is Rakan. So he's fine, but thought maybe if they got some kind of binding or follow-up CC could have amounted to something. Now the Otacon's here, which is why there's so much pressure, and there you go, the engage comes in, and the cancel does come through as Delight. Now he's gonna go into his ult. Oner goes in, he's gonna get ulted here by the Bard, and he's got the Galio on top as well. Zeus immediately just exhausted, and he can't even join the fight. He doesn't even want to anymore, as the rest of his team just disappears. Double kill goes over to Doran, and Zeus is like, well, what do I... And he even gets rooted! Why is he still here? The fight's just over. Zeus is just a free kill. And he is Ambessa, so maybe there's some miracle here, but... Yeah, Guma's just gonna shoot him down, and that is that. This game kind of feels donezo, Chronicler.
Felt like there maybe was a shot. Nope, no shot for HANWHA Life. The cancel from Pina there looked like it might have been enough at first. The engage thwarted, but that ultimate from Keria, as well as the earlier arrivals, Delight, you have to steal this. If you want there to be a game, he gets found out. And
it's
also,
early.
There's also 2 smites on the enemy team. And also Guma is there. So really, when you think about
also
it,
Keria is zoning him. Yeah. True, Guma does have an innate smite. It's something he was born with.
So the start of this fight, I think, looks good for HANWHA as they get the cancel onto Faker. But it's the... Doran is just way faster than Zeus. I think if Zeus is here, doing something about this backline, it might actually be playable. But he just arrived too late.
It's insane.
Gwen gets to the fight first. And Doran, leaning heavily into the T1 shenanigans, just immediately pulls the trigger, not wasting any time. And that second late arrival might have been the difference maker. I don't know if it would have been enough, right? I think the Bard counter engage was already crazy, could have stalled enough. They get the cooldowns back. But it ensured that there was no angle for HANWHA Life. And T1 definitely going to take this game, barring any crazy situations happening, which, guys, Hextech saw in a minute. Like, even if...
Yeah, I mean...
there's just... They're too clean!
They're too clean, they're too good. I mean, the team fighting, the way they were able to group up so much faster than HANWHA Life Esports every single time and just manipulate the fight so much better. It doesn't even look like HANWHA Life are on their level at the moment, as we got Keria coming up for a little gank onto Zeus. And now a TP coming in, I'm not so sure, but we do have a bunch of damage coming out, and look at that, Keria just booms him down. And an escape here, a heroic exit. Meanwhile, Keria's kind of left alone, but he's still got flash, and HANWHA Life, you had one opportunity, as now Viper's like, well, maybe I can take a 1v1 against Guma. Absolutely not, as in comes Faker, in comes Oner to help him out, but it's still T1 all the way.
Is it a clean ace?
I mean, it might just be. They're not even able to kill Faker at the end of it all. It's just insane. It's just an absolute stomp of a game 1, Cronny.
They got 1 kill! 1!
And 1 turret.
This game was so close for so long. And I really did believe that. But the moment it's not close anymore, T1 does not let you play the game. As Zeus, they're trying to... This is a Hail Mary, right? Game is already lost. So I like the attempt here from HANWHA Life. The fact that it's of everything, Keria's redemption gets the kill is deeply funny. Then Faker repositions as...
Boom damage. Speaking of which, we got 1,110 gold over to an Ambessa. I'm not sure if it matters.
But I gotta keep going. They're losing Hextech Soul, so...
Yeah. There's Hextech Soul. It immediately is going to help them out in the fight. And now Delight, okay, able to help out Zeka here. But yeah, it's just a pipe dream at this point, as we got redemptions for days on their side. Meanwhile, Doran just 1v2ing the whole team. Peanut just going to stand still, fake decoy, and Viper's just all by himself. Doran has been such a huge impact in this game. It has not even been funny. T1 are going to stomp HANWHA Esports into the ground here in game number 1. And boy, was it not close. It was for a while, and then it was just lights out.